Hello, everybody, and welcome to this lecture by the Vaidya's Chess Hub. In fact, it's not exactly a lecture. In this video, what we are going to see is a game that is shown in the latest Hindi movie Rustom, which is based on a real story of a naval officer. Now, the naval officer is being played by Akshay Kumar, who is a lead actor, and he gets special privileges, I suppose, because he is a naval officer, and at the moment he is facing a trial. The charge is of a murder, and in this movie this is a cute little game that he plays with the chief investigating officer in the jail. Now, if you can see clearly in the image alongside, which is a still from the movie, Akshay Kumar, the protagonist, the lead, is playing with the white pieces, and the chief investigating officer is playing the black pieces. Now, this is a nice queen sacrifice. I'm going to just first of all run you through how the game is actually shown in the movie, and later on I'll show you the proper variation of how the queen sacrifice actually works. So let's get started. The hero, the protagonist, starts the game with 1 e4, and the chief investigating officer replies with 1 e5. There is this typical knight f3 move, and the investigating officer playing the black pieces responds with 2 knight c6. The game continues with the Italian. In the Italian opening, bishop c4 and d6 is played by black. Now, castling is the best move here, but knight c3 is also playable, which actually happens during the game. Black immediately decides to pin the knight by playing bishop to g4, and now comes the real, the scene where the lead, the protagonist, sacrifices his knight. So he plays knight takes e5. And now what happens is that the chief investigating officer here that you see into the image really is surprised, and he immediately grabs the queen thinking that he's going to win the game. Not quite. In fact, what happens is the typical mate in two. I wouldn't mind if you want to pause the video and find it out for yourself. And if you did pause the video, I'm sure you saw the continuation. Yes, it is bishop takes f7 check. King e7 is the pretty much the only move, and knight d5 is coup de grace. So it's a beautiful checkmating pattern here. But let's come back to the critical point. The white's move here, knight takes e5. Yes, it does allow for the sacrifice, but if the chief investigating officer, apart from his investigation, was good enough at chess, he would have won that game, because ideally knight takes e5 and black wins here. I would also like to point out that white just lost a piece here, and according to the engines, it is definitely clearly winning for black. This particular position with the bishop g4 pinning the knight has actually been played more than 70 times internationally in various tournaments. So this particular position that you see on the board right now has actually occurred over the board for more than 70. I don't know the exact number, but surely I've checked with the chess base. It's more than 70 times this position that has been played. Only twice, I suppose, really, in fact, the player goes on to play knight to e5, but on both the occasions white suffered defeat because black continued in the correct way, which is to capture the knight. In the movie, of course, the investigating officer is not so good at chess, so he takes the queen and got checkmated in the next couple of moves. Now, let's get back to the start of the game. That's not exactly the idea how you make this queen sacrifice. So what happens is, actually this occurs more in the Philidor defense. 1e4, 1e5 is pretty much standard. After that, white continues with knight to f3, but black plays d6, which is the Philidor defense. White then continues bishop c4, and it is here that black plays h6 in order to stop something like knight to g5, where he sees an attack on his f7 pawn. So black plays this move h6 in order to stop this knight g5 move. Now what happens here is then white continues with knight to c3, and it is here that black pins it, and now knight takes e5 is pretty much the correct queen sacrifice, because there is no knight in c6 that could take on e5. Now here the all the engines will agree that white is completely winning. Of course, if black accepts the queen, then it is checkmate in a similar kind of pattern that was shown in the movie coup de grace. But the if black really wanted to play, then the move is definitely to be a pawn down and play d takes e5, and white plays queen takes g4. It is still winning for white. White should go on to win the game, but at least black is playing. It will not be checkmated. If he accepts the queen sacrifice, it's checkmate in two. So that is how actually it should have been played, but that's not the way that they shown in the film. Anyway, I look forward to more such chess clips from movies in Bollywood and in Hollywood and all across. Whenever I stumble upon one, I'll make sure that I make a video on that. Hope you enjoyed this one, and as I always say, keep playing, keep enjoying, keep learning chess, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to leave suggestions and comments, please feel free, and if you like our efforts that we put into um, promote chess or teach chess, do subscribe to our channel. Thank you once again. Bye bye.